So the next topic I wanted to address is the disappearance of Joy Morgan. So I'm basically just going to provide the facts of what happened as provided by the Hertfordshire Police, because they have all the information on their website. So I'm going to get all the facts just so I don't leave anything out. I want to make sure that they got those facts, and then basically just give my thoughts on the whole situation, because to me it's actually highly disturbing, and I'm going to explain why later on in the video. I am on the Hertfordshire Police website. It's the Joy Morgan murder investigation reappeal. They did this reappeal the 18th of April 2019. It essentially says officers investigated the murder of student Joy Morgan are reappealing for anyone who has information to get in touch. Joy, a 21-year-old University of Hertfordshire midwifery student, was reported missing from Hatfield on Thursday, February 7th. She was last seen on Ilford on December 26, 2018. So make sure you keep that in your memory. She was last seen on Boxing Day, and they apparently said that on Boxing Day she visited a mass at church, and then she was not seen again after that. But she wasn't reported missing for 2 months. So keep that in your head. On Wednesday, February 27th, Shofar El Israel, age 40, of Fordwich Road, London, was charged with murder. Detective Inspector Justine Jenkins from the Bedfordshire, Cambridge and Hertfordshire Major Crime Unit said, unfortunately, Joy's body has not been found yet, so I'm continuing to urge members of the public to be vigilant when out and about. If you see anything suspicious, please alert the police immediately. That's another thing that bothers me. They have not yet found her body, but they're reporting her as deceased. I've always been very wary of the police reporting someone as deceased without having actual evidence, as in the person's body. Now, I understand that in some cases they actually have the evidence, whereas they don't need the person's body. But in this incident, they don't have no evidence to say that she is actually dead. They've just arrested someone, and he's basically saying, oh yeah, this 40-year-old guy, he's the one, he's murdered her. And that's the end of that, even though they haven't found her body yet, which is really strange. It says, if you have any information at all about Joy, no matter how insignificant it might seem, please do not hesitate to get in touch. This is a devastating time for Joy's family, and they are in utter turmoil. Officers are also keen to hear from anyone who has information about the pictured Honda vehicle which belongs to Israel. D.I. Jenkins from the Bedfordshire, Cambridge and Hertfordshire Major Crime Unit continued, the vehicle has been located, but I am keen to hear from anyone who might have seen it over the festive period and into the new year. Joy used to travel in the vehicle, and any information you have about it, no matter how small it seems, could be vital to the investigation. If you saw it, please do not hesitate to get in touch and let us know when and where it is. Joy had links to Hatfield, Ilford, Battersea, Cricklewood, Stevenage and Luton. So that is the information that is on the Hertfordshire Police website, because she obviously went to the University of Hertfordshire, so as a midwifery student. So because she went missing there, they are the ones who have to get involved. My first issue is she went missing, as I said, December 26, and yet she was not reported missing until February 7th. That is almost 2 months. Why did it take so long for her to be reported missing? What the hell is going on? Why did it take her so long to be reported missing? A few days, a week I could understand, barely, but almost 2 months. So she was missing for 6 weeks, and you said, oh yeah, now I'm going to report her missing. But what about all that time before? Another issue that I find very disturbing is, as I said, they choosing to claim that she is deceased and charging someone with murder, even though her body has not been found, or she has not been found. Joy has disappeared. She's been missing since December 26th. It is now, what's the date today? June. The date today is June 13th. And this reappeal was done April of 2019. And yet, in this 2-month gap, they still not found her body. And you have to remember, like I said, she wasn't reported missing to February of this year. So that's what, 5 months? 5 months. Now, they have this guy, Chauffeur L. Israel, age 40. They've charged him with her murder. However, like I said, how do you know that it's him? I mean, he could be guilty, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, how do you know it's him? And why is there always this thing when it's a black woman who goes missing? There's barely any coverage. If it was a white woman who went missing, yeah, it would have been all over the newspapers, all over the news. Now, don't get me wrong, the news did report on it because I remember it. However, in comparison to the coverage that white people get, once again, racism plays a part in this. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The simple fact that a black woman can go missing, she's not reported missing for 2 months, almost 2 months. And her body has not even been found yet, and you're already pointing blame. So it says here on the BBC News, missing Joy Morgan, man denies murder, and this was published 3 days ago. So it says, a man has denied murdering a midwifery student who's been missing since Boxing Day. Joy Morgan, who was 20, was training at the University of Hertfordshire, was last seen at a church event in Ilford on the 26th of December. Chauffeur Al Israel, 40, of Fort Rich Road, London, pleaded not guilty at the Old Bailey to killing Miss Morgan at some point between the 26th and the 28th of December. He was remanded into custody ahead of his trial next month. Miss Morgan was reported missing from Hatfield on the 7th of February, and numerous police have said she has links to Hatfield, Stevenage, Battersea, Crickerwood, Ilford and Luton. And that's all the coverage they have on there. However, as you can see, they still have Chauffeur Al Israel in custody. He's pled not guilty, and they still, look, this is June now, right? They still have not found her body. They've not found basically any evidence that she's dead. So I don't understand why they're trying to say she's dead without her body. This is what really disturbs me. They're just so quick to just say she's dead. I bet you anything, if it was a white woman, yeah, they would have tried harder to find her body. But no, because she's black, they just want to automatically go to she's dead, and that is just one thing that really bothers me. So, to quickly round up this video, because I don't want it to be too long, I believe the police need to investigate this more, because I feel like they just want to close this investigation as quickly as possible. So they have a guy who's pled not guilty. He's going to trial next month. They have basically no evidence that ties this guy to Joy Morgan. As far as I'm aware, I'm just looking at the facts that is out there at the moment. They have no evidence to say that it's him. Joy, unfortunately, is still missing. Are the police even looking for her body? Now, as I said, if it was a white woman, the investigation would have been open for a very long time. But I feel because they've got this guy in custody now, they're probably going to say, well, if they find him guilty on at his trial next month, then, excuse me, if they find him guilty and he gets a prison sentence, and that's it, he's just going to go to jail. But what about her body? What about her family? What about her family? Because they're not going to have nothing to bury. Like, if she is indeed dead, they're not going to have anything to bury. It's just quite disturbing how quick they are to just say this guy is guilty. yeah, this guy is guilty. Yeah, okay, we haven't found Joy Morgan's body yet, but this guy is definitely the one who murdered her, even though they don't have no evidence to the contrary. I feel like they should be doing more. Like, they keep doing these real pills, and I get that, the real pills, but like, if she has so many links to these other places, have you actually been looking in those other places to see if she's in those locations as well? Because 4 other places other than Hertfordshire, she has links to. Have you been looking in those places? Have you actually been doing investigation thoroughly enough? Or is it because it's a black woman you just don't care? But anyway, please let me know your thoughts on this situation. Do you believe that Joy Morgan is alive or not? And do you believe that the police is just being quick to dismiss her case by just getting anyone into court without actually knowing whether the person is alive or not? Okay, bye.